Scott Sylvester,
Or
Keeper
Julie.
Mail.
Lane Gagliano.
Heidi Kinkle.
Patty Campbell.
Okay, approval of minutes.
Heidi, are you taking notes again?
So far,
Okay.
you guys do decide what you're gonna do.
You do.
I move we approve the minutes.
Yes. I have them here if anybody needs any information or, you know.
Heidi, I think you
Do I
did a
have a
great
second?
job.
Okay, who?
I move to approve the minutes.
Second, approval of minutes. All those in favor? Okay, discuss the secretary position. Elena, are you the secretary? Did you quit or did you not quit?
I still don't know what a secretary does. There's no definition of who's who.
If you want to be secretary, could you write a description and then we could vote on it?
What you think you wanna do, maybe, as secretary, and then they'd kinda know.
She's been doing a lot of it already, you know, keeping us up to date on laws and.
Well, I'll continue
I
to
like
do
that.
that, but again,
So that's a,
Well, I think they need to, don't you guys need to find out, like Sue needed something typed up, they kinda, I think that was the question is, who's gonna do that? You had Mike do it.
Right, and I'm going to address that later when we get to
Okay.
that, but
as it stands now, to me, it's up in the air because I still don't know what a secretary is supposed to do. We still don't have a presence on the county website. You know, so where you put all the records and the documents and the motions and all that other
well,
stuff.
maybe the secretary could do that.
But where would you put it? I'm not taking it home every night and putting it in a box. And we
Well-
haven't approved the Facebook. I put the Facebook up and somebody decided, when I put down and for further information, contact Granite County and the telephone numbers, somebody deleted it. So I said, okay, fine,
How could they delete that? You're
Well,
the
they
one that put
can.
it up.
because it's Granite County.
Huh.
So I put the reference on that, and somebody crossed it out, and Facebook got in touch with me and said, if
Gee whiz.
you don't change it, you know, it's gonna be coming off. So I said, okay, fine.
That's
Take it
weird.
off.
I think that is weird.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
Maybe
it?
that's a Facebook policy. Like
Could
maybe they
be,
don't put
things are
photographs.
like, you know, and like I said, I'm new at this, and Facebook and all that other stuff that I put up. I don't know.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Well, you got a whole bunch of notes.
Looks like you've been busy.
So where are we at here? So,
So I think,
still,
yeah, I'm not, no, I don't want, if you want,
So maybe we need to identify what is the, right now, what do we think a secretary would do? I don't know.
a description of the secretary, what her job is or his job. And that should be there somewhere, maybe in the minute or the
bylaws, like
the
I thought
bylaws or
this-
something like that.
this
And,
record keeping portion kind of describes something like that.
well, I still think it'd be better for you to write something up and for us to vote on it, because if we do something, then,
okay, I'll be glad to.
so.
You would have an idea what a
Yeah,
secretary should do.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
I
mean,
don't
things
either.
have changed. I haven't even heard of a facilitator. I thought we elected a chair and a vice chair. Why is a facilitator already coming up in the bylaws and stuff? So that's something else that's questionable. I think the first meeting that we had when we decided who the chair was, who the vice chair was, who was going to be the communicator with the newspaper, who was going to be the secretary. Now all of a sudden we have a facilitator.
Was that in the generic bylaws? Because,
Well, it's also in the minutes, isn't it?
oh, okay.
Who the facilitator was.
I saw the word somewhere, I can't
Yeah.
remember.
The August 8th minutes, it says, monthly meeting facilitator Chuck Hinkle, president. Meeting facilitator,
Where was
Well,
this?
I think in
It's
that
not
case, it
like-
just means Chuck's the one that organized the meeting, he facilitated. this.
Is that
He is our
Yeah, but where do they say
Right.
that?
Right, it's just,
We don't have a
Oh,
prison department.
maybe I just copied something.
exactly.
Yeah, I could
Sure,
have just
I
copied
found
something
it.
there.
Yeah.
right.
I just thought that was, I think I might have taken it off of something, who knows?
Well, I mean, it's just a vocabulary, a
Yeah,
term.
just figure of speech.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
So, I wanna get definite. You are secretary for now, you will write up
Write up what?
Job
a job description.
Oh, what, a job description?
Exactly, and so you can make it whatever job you want to. I mean, we need a secretary, I think,
Well,
right?
Elena contributes a lot, and I'm personally fine with hiring Heidi as a secretary. Someone that doesn't have skin in the game, that can be impartial.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I just think that
But we can't hire Heidi.
we can't. I thought we'd gone through all
They won't
that.
let us have any money.
They
We're gonna
won't
talk
pay
about
me
that, yeah.
because I'm not an employee or something of the county member.
See, so there's a lot of things that depend on a lot of things.
Okay.
So let's just have the conversations and see what happens today. Put it on hold regarding secretary.
I agree with Elena, and I wasn't aware of that, but it just seems like the airport board and different boards, they have a hired secretary, they don't, the planning board, do they? Okay.
Why can't you have
The
a
reason why
recording
we-
secretary and a corresponding secretary?
The reason why we paid Becky was because we asked her to do a job of, just to help out.
Well, the
Just to get us going. Really, that's,
On the other boards are the secretaries, members of the committee. Heidi's not a member of the committee, you just,
they're just, they're secretaries, yeah, they'd be a member. They'd be a vote member.
well, Heidi's not.
I'm not,
She can be, if she's gonna be secretary, we can just make her. See, because I'm not a vote member.
So,
But like the airport one, it's just Vince's wife, and she just takes notes and writes stuff down just like that. She's not reimbursed. She can get any paper or whatever if she needs it and that. But I thought we could make it so it works, so we could pay her for her time, but it's,
Not gonna let us.
I apologize for leading you on. I'd pay her if I had the money.
It's a lot of work.
It
Well, it
is.
is
A
a
lot
lot.
of work.
That's why a lot of people don't do it.
I wouldn't want to do that.
I mean, it's just, when you don't get nothing for nothing, it's
You pay for what you get.
Right,
it's sad.
well, yeah. So I see we do have a problem.
so,
So I say, as far as the discussion of secretary position, we just put it off until next month.
I agree with Elena.
what's gonna happen next month?
And depending on what we discuss for the rest of the stuff, everything else. The commissioner's resolution,
Okay, let's move this to the back then. We'll talk about it when we're done.
You know, Heidi takes such wonderful notes, but maybe since the recording is the official minutes, maybe if Heidi just did, if a motion were made, you know, just hit the high points. You know, you're putting an awful lot of time into this, and if you're not gonna
I
get
just don't know,
compensated.
sometimes I have a hard time, you know,
I
I'm
know.
more of that
Right,
detailed type person, I guess, and I'm always afraid I'm gonna miss something that's,
right,
but I
if-
could try.
right, if we just, you know, did the motions, maybe make your job a little easier,
Yeah,
you know, till we get squared away.
Still tape it and then.
Oh, yeah.
use it as a backed up
Well,
in
it's
case
just,
Heidi had to go thinking that she might have missed something and she has something to look at.
right. I think a lot of us like to look at print. I know I do. I refer to it all the time.
Okay, we're gonna move this to the bottom, and we're gonna talk about it real quick, and we're done with the rest of it. Granite County growth policy. My opinion that we have, or somebody has a lot of work to do on the Granite County growth policy.
It needs some updates.
Is that our job, or is that the planning board, or?
I
I
think
think it'd
we
be
did.
the planning board, I think it'd be nice to have Linda, I was gonna mention maybe have Linda or Tommy Rue or somebody come and explain a lot about it, than us trying to jump in head first and.
I know Kerry White, I asked him, how do we do, what do you call it when you add to the planning board? You do I can't think of the word I want. But he said it's easy to do, and we're the advisory committee.
To amend it?
Right.
Add amendments.
Yeah.
Definitely, because when it was made,
Exactly.
it wasn't let it burn policy, let our, all our quality air, there's no air quality in it at all because we had good clean air back then.
Yeah.
And it says right here in our growth policy, it said, update as needed, the Granite County Community Fire Plan, Wildfire Plan, and if needed, complete a capital improvements plan that establishes a schedule, estimated cost. They said we need to update it as we go.
For those of you who missed the meeting with Terry White,
Oh.
it was a good meeting,
Uh-huh.
I thought, and it was a good article that you wrote, I thought.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was good, Scott.
Anyway, yeah, and it's not a radical, the coordination thing is not radical, it's law. And
Yeah, and you mentioned that when we use coordination, it's good when we can use part of our growth policy plan to show a little power there, what the community wants.
and you can amend that growth policy at any time. And ours is so outdated that, like Patty said, just as far as air quality even.
It wasn't even mentioned,
Yeah.
but
So, we're back to, when we
Maybe.
do that, are we gonna have somebody come in and talk to us about that? Should we have a subcommittee of certain, 2 or 3 people that can write down a bunch of stuff that we need to change? Or what?
who did you say we had to talk to on this, Scotty? If we
can
wanted to
talk
do amendment
Linda Bullock or Tom Rue or somebody on the planning board.
on the planning board.
So what I suggest is the next meeting that the planning board have, get on the agenda to discuss it, the growth policy.
They meet every month.
I'm not sure what day it is, Elaine, I can find out. Thought it was.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's
I
the,
think they just had one here the night before last,
yeah,
cause they're
I
trying
don't
to do
remember
that
which
map,
day it
they're
was.
still trying to figure out that map.
last week I think it was Thursday.
So we,
Wasn't it?
we would attend that meeting, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you just get in touch with Linda and you to be on the agenda. I guess that would be you. And to discuss the growth policy, anybody can be there. I think it's really important. Kerry brought it up, how important that was.
Or can we do the growth policy?
You have to go and talk to the planning board regarding
They already have
Dating
one,
it.
you're just gonna go over it, and look at it, and go
Do
get it.
amend it.
He said the county commissioners are the ones that have to do the amendment. They have a hearing, and he said it's pretty simple, and then people come in and talk about it, and then they
Right.
propose the
But we
amendment.
could recommend it. I mean,
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
the advisory committee, so we'll advise, yeah.
Well, it seems like Elena's idea is a good one to start with the planning board. Get things going. Those that can go, and,
to bring it up.
yeah, to bring it up and we'll talk to them about it.
And Linda's good to work with.
Yeah.
Who is Linda?
Linda Bork, she's the planning
Board?
or,
It's Bach, C-K.
thank you. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds like Buck, but it's Bach, okay.
Okay, does anybody wanna write down a bunch of items that we can take to the planning board, or you gonna leave this to me?
But I want to bring up, we need better management of our forests.
Exactly.
I wrote out, I I went on our growth policy, we are 70% forest in Granite County, 22% rangeland, that could burn out too. Private is 35%, and the state, BLM, and US Forest Service was 65% government in here. So we need to have some power on how the lands around here are regulated, but definitely forest management, air quality, working with the Forest Service, get these fires out so they don't cause catastrophic
Wilderness,
fires.
We're one
not
of
burn
the,
up a
Wilderness.
wilderness, I mean, yeah, the fire policy, the, you know,
we're one of the biggest counties, you know, with that. with that
Are we?
much.
Yeah. That's not good, really, that it's all.
with one.
Forest Service.
Are those old numbers?
With it being
Or are they-
No, this was just, well, this was, actually probably it's more, because I know a lot more land that was bought by the government, and so it's more land in the government. But that's a lot.
So, Patty, what's that you're looking at?
Oh, I printed it out on the growth policy. You can just go on
Okay.
Granite County growth policy,
Okay.
and then they give you all the specs, you know, and it shows pictures.
Is there any way we can get a hard copy of that? That was
I would
printed out,
print it.
was like 61 pages.
In case you could see, it was really low, I couldn't get it printed out, but, I just Googled Granite County growth policy, and then you get the whole thing there, you can print it out.
Yeah,
so.
no, it's nice to have a
Yeah, what?
Mike will be back next week, and I'll, very well, get a hold of the growth policy and get some printed up, I'll just have them, grids and all. Is that all right?
Mhm.
I think it's next week, or Kim will be there, somebody will be there.
We're only 2% state lands in Granite County, I was surprised at that.
Oh.
So- Then you got the resource plan. I don't think there is a resource plan, is there?
In the growth policy,
For Granite County?
in the,
It's two different things, growth policy.
and the
and
resource,
resource.
what's the resource policy? What is that?
Oh, there's also the fire mitigation.
Yeah.
There's that one.
I
That's
got plans for
interesting.
that one.
Well, that's gonna be a biggie, because it involves Granite,
Hmm?
Georgetown Lake. Some of the changes up in Georgetown Lake.
Fire mitigation.
You know how big change would be?
Well, what they're doing with the roads and stuff, and then the fire department that's up there are adding something to the fire mitigation. I think it's under that. Remember? Oh, there was a meeting.
I got things to say.
Well, this is the whole thing, and you should really go through the,
Yeah,
should go to some of the
well, what they're
planning
doing is
board
ridiculous. I mean,
stuff, and,
You know,
oh
that
yeah,
plan is
it's really
ridiculous.
big.
But what they come in for was Fred, the fire chief up there, you mean?
And they're changing the rules and
They
stuff
wanna make
up
sure
there.
that people apply by, just in that zoning up there, because we got 3 people that aren't complying with law on water. Having the right amount of water, so if you're built in there, that, you know, there's.
Well, it's kind of interesting because the fire departments volunteer within Granite County down here. They want the simplest one, they don't want a whole bunch of rules and regulations. And now all of a sudden, the ones that are up there by Georgetown Lake, the fire departments, they want to really make it extensive. And
They
it's
took a
kind of
lot,
interesting.
that second meeting they were there, they took all that state out. Remember when Bill Slaughter said that he would not vote for it due that it was all state regulated? And then they come back with a different, I can go downstairs and try to get it.
Well, see, this is stuff that I think we should be involved with.
I'm
You
just
know, and
telling you,
there's-
I'm just saying, I
I'm
just
sorry?
said that next meeting, Fred and, the other guy come in, and then we didn't vote on it, cause it didn't want it state regulated, going by all them state laws, cause nobody, and DNRC and DEQ and all them, what they saying is you can't do nothing on your own ground, so why would we go by their laws?
And the fire service has projects too that are getting involved with what's happening. And the whole point, what I'm bringing up, is if we are the Granite County Forest Management Advisory Committee, we should know what they're doing, the Forest Service, the DEQ, and everybody else, and yet we don't know. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this is what we're supposed to be discussing.
Well, it's like, well, I can give you an update on 2 of the things, one was the DEQ on Black Pine, if you want that now, or.
No, I mean, that's not on the agenda, but I'm just saying, we've got to
It's
have
under
a
new.
connection with the Granite County Commissioners meetings and also Forest Service. Forest Service isn't here.
Wasn't it Bill that was gonna have Cam come in or something? Asked him all those
They're making
questions.
this way too complicated.
Me?
Everybody.
Well, what's the point? I
What's
don't
the point?
understand.
The point is, the fire policy is you put the fire out. You don't have to go to all of the little odds and ends, and this has gotta be done, and this has gotta be done. No, you safely and aggressively fight the fire, period.
That's what needs to be in our growth
That's what needs to be,
policy, yes.
exactly.
We don't wanna be all talk and no show.
Exactly.
We wanna be the show.
And so what they're doing up here is they're, with the Georgetown, and all the other subdivisions or whatever, and they, oh, we gotta do this, and we
And there
gotta
are
do that.
committees that know nothing about forest management. and
Exactly,
that's what's
exactly.
wrong.
They just wanna put little stipulations and rules and
Yeah.
everything, when all it takes is to go out there and put the fire out,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, and
I sent you an email, I sent it to Heidi about a helicopter. One tree got struck with lightning. I mean, it was smoking and inflamed. This helicopter comes in, just put it out and you went home.
They can do
You could
it.
do it just like that,
They
you
can
know.
do it.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah.
just,
so, but they make a big deal out of it, you know, to get more federal money, and, you know,
and each
It's out of
county
control.
each county needs to take care of themselves. We need to take care of Granite County, that's all we're here for.
that's what I said.
But if we do really well with this coordination and how we manage this county, other counties will follow.
Exactly, and with coordination, we can go to Forest Service and say,
That's
no,
right.
you're gonna put the fires out,
That's right.
okay?
Right. But we gotta put it in
So,
our
so all this
policies
other
and-
stuff, oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
I know, I agree. Let's make it simple.
Does the Georgetown Fire Department fall under Granite County?
What's that?
The Georgetown Fire Department, is that fall under Granite County? Is that,
They're their own district.
so what they're doing, we don't need to worry about,
No,
right?
I don't really think so, no.
It's part of Grant County.
It is-
They still have, yeah. it's
But
part of
some of it
Grant
is,
County.
but some of it belongs to Deer Lodge County.
You've got different districts. You got
Yeah.
one firm, that place in Bowling, you got another place someplace else, and Phillipsburg is another one, and you got one,
The
these are
main
all
thing that
different
what they come in
districts.
for was that there's a lawsuit that's happening. If somebody didn't have the water system they're supposed to, and we gave them opportunity, chances to get it done, and he hasn't done it, so we said heck with it.
What's the water used for? I mean, what,
In case there's a fire.
like a big tank, they
A
want a big tank
or
or
a
truck
pond. He
or
put a pond in
something.
and you can't drain water out, or siphon water out. In the winter it freezes, he don't have a dip
Sure.
thing deep enough.
Okay.
He just did not do anything he was supposed to. That's all that is. That's why
Well,
they
that
want
has
to make
nothing to
sure
do
that
with
it never
forest
happens
management.
again.
That has nothing to do with forest management.
No.
does it? It's just private
It's
land.
a subdivision.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all it is. It's about a
So
subdivision.
what?
It's
So why
all
does
part
this
of
guy
the
need
growth
a water
policy.
supply on his subdivision? How many houses in this subdivision?
It's all part of the growth policy. That's why Kerry White brought it up, how important the growth policy is.
Zoning laws up there. And he didn't comply with them. So the fire
Does
department-
everybody else have a water source for the winter? Everybody up there has a water source.
Each subdivision does. This one he put in, it just don't work. He won't fix it.
That they can draft water out in the
Yeah,
winter.
yeah. Our summer, they don't hold water. It's
They
not,
can't take it out of the lake, it does over.
well, here in them subdivision, it'd be nice just to stop there, then go all the way down the lake, and just go to the end of the subdivision, and McLean's got it right there.
Yeah.
So, it's just a rule that he signed stuff he'd do it, he didn't do it, that's all that is about.
Our
Fred never
subdivision
pushed it.
doesn't have
Huh?
that. Ours doesn't have that.
Every man for himself.
Huh?
We had a fire at our place and boy, the county came out and
Yeah, it's a
got
water
2
truck.
fire trucks and it's amazing.
Well, I move that we have more discussion on the growth policy and have a copy of it, and we should read it and see what we want changed.
That's a good idea.
Oh, my God.
I'll second that motion. That would be good to do at our next meeting, to have everybody read it and go over it.
If I can
All in
get,
favor of the motion?
if I can get them done.
How about you, Elena?
I introduced the motion. I guess
Like you say,
In the interest of setting some time and preventing everybody from running all over the place to these various meetings. Why don't you get in touch with Linda Bauk and ask her what's involved in amending the growth policy and tell her what this committee's trying to do. And then you can come back to the planning board after reviewing the growth policy and make some concrete suggestions and follow the process for getting the amendments done.
And she probably knows nothing about coordination, does she? It's gonna be hard to
She
explain what we're all about.
might not, but this is gonna be an education process for
Absolutely.
everybody, I
We'll have
think,
to explain to her.
That's a good idea.
She's pretty wise, she's pretty smart.
Okay,
She's good.
who do I call?
You can go right over there.
She's got an office here.
Oh,
Is she there
Right in the
most
back
days?
corner by the men's bathroom, just go straight back.
No.
Is there a Dan Hamilton that works at the courthouse?
He died.
Huh?
I thought Dan Hamilton
Yeah,
died.
he died, Dan died,
2
When did he
years
die?
ago.
oh, at least 2 years ago. Well, you might be thinking of someone else.
Yeah. Did he used to go run a ranch in Anaconda? And then he came back?
Well, he had the lane place, and then, he was living, his uncle, the place that you tourists just bought, he was living at his uncle's, and he got a blood infection.
Oh, Todd Vander was asking me about him, so.
Oh, about Dan Hampton?
Yeah, he thought-
Right,
he
because
came
his
back to
wife
Boston.
Robin used to probably ride with Todd, but anyway,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you said. Okay, I'll have to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
He's a nice guy.
yeah, he was nice, and very sad.
so maybe a couple of us could go in there and talk, is she here today?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Get the ball rolling there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So who's gonna go in, you or who else?
Probably should you.
Me and me, I guess.
Not me. You're our president, so.
Well,
Yeah, I'll go in.
uh,
Maybe Sue would like to go too, or.
I'm on a kind of a tight schedule today, so I trust you guys. Up to a point.
We won't make any serious decisions today. Just a new
Take it all,
one.
right, initial it and next
Yeah.
time,
okay, so we're done with growth policy? I think we are. Okay, discuss the commissioner's resolution, assume it was passed, and we're going to do it.
Yeah, it wasn't even on the agenda this time, Mike didn't put it on.
What? So we're done.
They didn't have the second meeting, the second,
Wasn't
Reading
put
of it?
on the damn agenda, right?
oh, okay.
So we put on the next agenda. And I think Mike is gone.
He's on vacation.
Right, I think actually till October 1, because I was just talking with him.
So I'll make sure I tell Kim to get it on there.
He's floating the Panama Canal. Or he's on a cruise and he's
Who,
down.
who is that?
Mike Cahill.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'd rather be here, but for good for him.
Right here.
Well, maybe not right here, but
Who's going with us?
no. No,
Everybody wanted to see down there in the Panama.
I know.
Okay. Anything else on the resolution? then?
I'll get hold of Kim and make sure it's put on.
Okay. Discussion with commissioners on committee budget. I have no idea what kind of budget we need, but I think we need a budget. Do you have any suggestions on how much?
I just, no, not really. Cause I was just thinking, I was still stuck on that we was gonna have a budget so we could make sure and pay Heidi and that, and then I led you wrong. Well, I went by what I was told. I should've looked into it a little bit more, and I feel terrible.
So we can't have a budget?
There's a whole big deal to it. I didn't check into it a lot.
It says something like travel, if we have to travel.
If you travel, you get paid for travel.
Yeah.
I think it's a moot point, isn't it, because now it's been done.
You
The
can make
budget
it-
is done and over, they had the first reading and,
You can amend and make it a line Blanche told me, but she wanted to look into it, and she's gone now too.
Right,
Who's that?
Blanche.
You know, I was thinking with Kerry White, you know, it was, you know, he drove all this way. You know, that's a lot of mileage to do
He
this
is.
for us. You would think that if we had a budget, we could pay somebody mileage. Couldn't we, if we had somebody special come?
Yeah, we're kinda asking him to come, so
Yeah.
I'll bring it up to him.
Yeah.
And, you know, the copying, everybody here does a lot of copying.
Oh, I
Patty
do.
does a lot of copying, and the members are spending a lot of money on copying. Not only that, it's not like you can go downtown and get new ink. We all have to go elsewhere to get ink. So if there could be some money for copying. I would think that, you know, $100 a month would be a very conservative figure.
Well, is there a dedicated printer in this building that we could use?
They got a brand new one in the attorney's, we just bought a brand new,
Oh, that's a good idea.
So maybe I could bring in one copy and.
yeah, and
Maybe
like
that's what we should do, just use
anything
them.
for the meetings and that, you can use Blaine's or Mike's downstairs, but Blaine just got a brand new one, and Claudette would help you.
Okay.
Oh, that's good, that's a good
Then we don't have to
idea.
And then we're right upstairs with it,
Right.
where Mike's is pretty slow down, so this
And it's
one,
okay if we use it then?
Yep.
For printing out stuff for our group? Okay,
I'll make sure to tell Blaine, but yeah.
all right.
It's my understanding is other committees had a budget.
Well, I thought according to the codes, I don't have it handy though, when you come up with a committee, the first thing you do is discuss a budget. All the other boards have budgets.
What's their budget?
You got the planning board has a budget, the airport board has a budget, television board has a budget, let me see. They all have budgets.
And who pays the money when they turn?
As part of the budget, that they have a certain amount.
And the county gives them that money then?
It's within the county budget, yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go down and make sure and get it checked out.
We could have a budget and just keep giving the county our bills, you know, and if we don't get paid, at least we have a budget, you know. Keep track
I think it
of
should be, that's
our
what I thought,
expenses.
the way I understood, I don't know, Sarah, she said, I thought we could be compensated for what we were doing. That's the way I understood it, and that's what I said up here. I was full belief in that, but like Elena says, the airport board, they have a budget, but none of them get nothing off of the budget. It's
No
just
one gives
for
them.
the airport. I mean, they don't pay a secretary, and the county pays mileage, it's no different than jury duty. You know, jury duty get paid mileage.
But we could get mileage without a budget.
Yes.
So could Kerry White have put in a
Claim?
claim?
It'd be a lot easier if we had a budget, and we should have had a budget according to the setup when the county commissioners create a board.
I agree.
So
So,
that's something I think we should put on the commissioner's agenda for a discussion.
is Blaine around? Are we done with budget? Is Blaine here? You know,
I think so.
So what do we decide? Are we gonna discuss it further, or discuss it with the county commissioners and
yeah,
find information and put it on the agenda to discuss with them?
yeah.
Okay.
I think Blaine would, does he have anything on this coordination memo?
They never said a thing about it. You want me to go get him?
Yeah.
Well, he's doing that, I don't think Scott would mind if I just can discuss this real fast. You know, Mike went through and made the changes. But there's there were some things that he didn't catch. If you don't mind, I'll go through, because I can edit that document, I'll go through myself and change that, if you guys don't mind. Rather than depending on an administrative assistant, or, you know, he's gone anyway, and I'd be happy to do that.
Is that the
Okay.
bylaws?
Right. It's just he had with Valley County, and then we had made some changes that he didn't catch.
Exactly. You probably want the
Yeah,
same one.
and so what I can do is do that, email you, and then you guys can check to make sure I did it correctly.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, well, we should go through it, shouldn't we?
Well, we went through it last time.
But the corrections, this is the Granite County Forest Management, right?
Right, but see, we had all these corrections, and he didn't catch them all. Like, he referred to it as for Valley County, and then we'd done some change. Instead of co-chairman, we had a chair and vice chair, you know, and that stuff. But we'd spent about half an hour on it already.
Not good.
Okay.
Again, like on page 3, facilitator, I have a problem with that. Member needs and the interests of others. If we're gonna go by
Where
the
you at?
growth policy,
Where you at?
on page 3, I have a problem with that. On page 4, the meetings, agenda meetings, bylaws, and products will be posted on the Montana Forest Collaboration Network. We said no.
Right, we took all that stuff out.
Yeah, we did that.
Okay, so it's still on here.
Well,
So I
yeah,
just
but-
want to make sure that
Right.
that's all gone.
That's what she said, Mike just didn't get that, and she'll do it.
Right, and then, but that facilitator part, I don't know if, on page 3,
Why didn't you change just when I put down meeting facilitator, should I change that there on the minute? I didn't know. I just thought facilitator meant he was just.
right, it's just like the term coordination. I mean, there's a real formal term, and then there's coordination, an informal term, so I wouldn't lose any sleep over that.
He's on a conference call right now.
Okay, so anyway, I'll work on this, and then we'll take another stab at it. How's that?
Good. Since we're still talking about that, I came up with this additional information. I'm just throwing it at you here. The coordination process established by Congress mandates federal agencies to meet in a government-to-government relationship with local governments in order for each federal agency to use every practical means to reach consistency with local policy. The local policy, I believe that's what they're talking about, a growth policy, to the fullest extent possible.
How's it going?
Here's a vision statement, which I kind of like, and again, I can put this up and send it to everybody. To create and continue in perpetuity the American Coordination Institute. Well, this is to restore local government to its rightful place in the federal government system while protecting the rights of the people. Here's a mission statement: strengthen federalism by training and assisting local governments to use the coordination process through which Congress and the President have ordered all federal agencies to use every practical means to the fullest extent possible to reach consistency with local plans and policies. And I think that's the growth policy that they're talking about.
You want me to copy that so everybody has one?
Sure, if you want. It's just like generality regarding.
Well, that way it's easier. I have
I didn't catch it, where did you get this?
I got it from different places. The Americans Coordination, that's a new group that came up. Fred Kelly Grant is involved with it. The American Stewards is involved with it. So I think it needs more, something in here regarding the coordination. And so it's just something to throw out.
Sure.
How does it copy? Sure, I'll take a copy.
Yeah, but you'd like me to have it for the,
Everyone.
for the,
How are you?
I'm doing good.
So, on coordination, did you ever come up with something? Did you ever hear from that?
No, I didn't. I emailed her twice, so, I can email her again or call her if you like. The only thing I sent out that, kind of summary of the law there. I haven't done any more than that. I thought that was right on point. So I wanted to get that USDA's attorney's point of view on it, and never did. So, but I think it's a well-worded memo. Do you guys have any questions on that, or want me to do any more research? If you want me to, I can do
Well,
that.
Blaine, this thing that Scott is gonna make a copy of, there's another group that came into being, and I'll give you the name, it's on there.
Okay.
Where are they
It's
from?
in New Idaho. Fred Kelly
So,
Grant is.
what are you working on now?
involved.
It's are your bylaws, or was it something else?
This, or is this with the growth policy?
Oh, okay. All right.
Is it growth policy or bylaws? Growth policy.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay, yeah, you probably won't get an answer from the attorney.
The group is
Cop
the,
out a
I
little
don't
bit.
think they wanna,
Blaine, the group is the Americans Coordination Institute.
Oh, okay.
And I can send you the link to that, but if you look it up.
American Coordination
Institute,
You could give them
Coordination Institute.
Okay.
And they also train
Did you get,
local
Yeah,
people
no,
on
thanks.
the coordination process.
So you think we should have this on our growth policy?
Well, I'm just,
I like it.
it's just, we can
Yeah.
change it.
Potentially the growth policy needs looked at. It's been a while, but I think
Yeah,
public hearing process and so forth, that was a process, but yeah, easily enough done.
I'm always leery of stuff like this. I gotta throw that out because you know how I am.
so.
Trust but verify, isn't it?
Right, exactly. There you go.
Yeah, if you want me to do any more research, yeah, let me know. Do it.
you can just call them too, Chuck.
What's that?
You can just call Blaine too,
Yeah,
or anybody can.
Thank you, Blaine.
yeah.
Your time is valuable and
No.
if you don't get back to
All right.
it. Okay, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Did you ever see a copy of this memo?
I thought it come email, didn't it?
I think it did a couple of months ago. I'll forward it to you
Thank you.
because you may not have got it.
I might
Might have
have
just
taken a look
gone,
on that.
right, exactly. Oh,
And Claudette said anytime you need with Margie or anybody need anything, just go in there, she'll help you or whatever, it's right in the machine.
Thank you. That's nice, isn't it?
Any more on the bylaws?
Scott, I just said you were gone. They still might didn't catch a couple of things, and so I was just gonna look at it myself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had some stuff on the bylaws. It says, on page 4, the public comment period will be included on meeting agendas. How are they able to comment? I mean, do they send us an email? Is it via letter
They usually
together?
leave a space open if somebody wanted to come in and give public comment.
Here in this meeting? Okay.
Yeah,
That's totally up to you guys.
That's a good idea. There should be a public comment on the agenda at some point. Absolutely, because we're a public group.
You know, that's something we wanted to bring up. Are we an ad hoc committee meeting?
I think,
What's that mean?
It means for one purpose only, and we don't have to open it
I was
to
talking to
the
Carrie about that,
And he
and,
doesn't think we are?
no, this committee is not ad
All
hoc.
right.
The meeting we had was,
Was an ad hoc, okay.
No, we're open.
that's why it wasn't open to the public.
All right.
Yeah, we're open to the public though.
Yeah.
I think you should have something on there. You can just put it on your agenda down there, just like it, when we're getting down to the bottom. I'm not telling you what to do. You get down and then just at the end there, that way you got kind of control of the time and that, so they're not interfering with what you're going through. And then they can write it down and when they get there, then they can talk about it.
Right, yeah, right, good point.
Okay. I'll Also, the record keeping part on page 4, what about Elena's YouTube videos? Should we add that there?
It's just an electronic recording. I mean, it's accepted as an electronic recording. We already agreed that that would be the electronic recording
And the
of the
Facebook page?
meeting. The Facebook page, I guess, is still up in the air because it's just something I put up and we all thought it was a good idea, but
I feel that at some point will come, like, what if we miss and we don't have this, and somebody's gonna say, where's
That's right,
YouTube,
yeah.
where's the Facebook page? And so
Well,
I
that
think
way
we
the-
should either define that it's necessary, or if it's
It'd be
at
on
will, that you put up at will or something, so you aren't.
well, I'm putting it up just as a citizen,
Okay.
okay? Because there's nothing,
I think I'd leave it at that, so you're not.
and that's all I'm
required
gonna do.
Right.
But I still think we need a presence on the county website, and that's where everything should be.
And why can't we get on the county, I can't remember, website?
Don't ask me.
Don't ask me, because I'm not the computer guy. They said Mike was checking to see how many people, or not people, or how much was on there. They had to upgrade.
I'm a computer person, I can talk to the necessary people to find
If you
out
go
why.
down, you can get the name of them from Sarah, and that way you can ask them what it takes to get, I don't understand how that works.
I know that, I mean, in order to update any website, the person that has the, you know, the access, the login credentials can only do the updating, so we can't willy-nilly go in and update, but if I ask, you know, can you put this on for us, I'll find out if they can, or why they can't.
Good,
Good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
thanks.
Yeah.
You said who, Sarah?
Sarah. And Kim's in there too. Kim's in Mike's place, so they're both in that office right now, so you.
And then click on the corner.
What are you putting on the website? Or if they say yes, what would we be putting on
I
there?
think you said the minutes. You want the
Well,
minutes?
it would first of all be called, the Granite County Forest Management Advisory Committee, and then we would be on the website,
have her
and then
okay.
under there would be all the documents pertaining to it. You know, just like we're Valley County, which is different than what we are. And so they have everything on the Montana Forest Collaboration
Right.
Network. Well, it's over there, so we need someplace to put our stuff. And I've been asking the commissioners, it wasn't Scott, it was one of the other ones, who, yeah, we'll look into it, and we'll look into it, and it never happened. So,
I think we
Thank
take it
you.
upon ourselves, and then that way at least we know we looked into it. I'm not bashing nobody, but I just think, I don't know nothing about computers, I don't. And if she can go down there and find out, we can get a page, I don't see what would hurt, just,
yeah,
at
I
least,
don't
at
either.
least we can get a yay or nay, I know we're
Yeah.
not sitting on a,
Yeah,
I think
being
that
told
all
we're
the
gonna
boards
look
should
into it
have
and
a
didn't.
presence on there, just like the minutes, where do they go? And I don't think that Heidi has to take them home and bring them back, and if we call Heidi, can you check this? There's gotta be,
A place to look.
another way of
Right,
doing it.
exactly.
So if we can get a page, and now we can put them on there.
I'm
So
sure
would
they'll
we
let us, you know.
Email them to
There was
somebody to
something,
add?
all I know there was something to do about, they had to see, cause they were at darn near their full limit, and I don't know what they meant by that. So if we had to upgrade to another, so you could get more or another page, but I don't understand, I shouldn't. But I know they talked about it, but they never, that's all that got left, is what you're saying, that's it.
Yeah.
okay.
I can take you down afterwards and introduce you to them, and
Okay.
they can,
I have to leave at 3:30, so if not today, then I can call.
it's DIS or something, DIS.
Any more discussion on bylaw?
I know.
Yes, one more. It says a quorum of the FMAC requires at least 10 members present. Don't
Yeah.
we only have 7?
I just changed that to the majority.
Right, we changed that to,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, we
Majority.
changed.
You just want to
I
change
just
it.
have the old copy. Okay. And the bylaws part, page 5, number 7, it says modifications to the bylaws. Well, who makes the changes? That's us. That's this
We're
group.
gonna make the bylaws and we'll bring them in, we approve them, I guess.
Okay, so can we change them as we see fit? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah,
We can.
because you're kind of making up your own, we're just using Rebelli as a,
okay, okay, that's all I have.
And the reason, Mike Cahill, he referred to it as FMAC. I think the resolution referred to it as that, and so he kept it consistent. Yeah, yeah. Just wanted to say that.
Okay. Need to meet for the air quality, I guess is probably not that
Well, we want to bring that up in our growth policy, with air quality now, because it's changing with all the fires. So that will be one of the things we'll have amended, just air quality and put that in.
I noticed Missoula, they changed theirs.
Are they?
On the growth thing, that the air quality, that's why you see it on TV and.
Yeah, see, things have changed since 2006, you know, let it burn policies for a lot of communities, so. I hope
I
every,
think a whole lot more people are.
I hate it, they hate it, it's ruining their summers, it's killing their kids, it's like we're smoking 10 packs of cigarettes a day, forced to, you know, it's not right.
It might be interesting to get a copy of that Missoula's policy, just to see what it
Good luck.
said.
Kind of get some ideas of what they're working
They
on.
won't even call us back, so I'm,
Oh, they won't go.
But don't you think it's on the Missoula County website?
It's probably on
Mhm.
our website, yeah.
You could just Google it, Missoula County Growth Policy, air
Right.
quality deal.
I think I heard there's a new organization down there fighting this, the smoke.
I think that's the one that put this air quality on TV and stuff, because there's something about down the bottom, if you look, there's a name that, when they had that air quality on there, when it was back on that page thing,
Oh.
on KPAS.
Okay, any more discussion on that? Should we take that off for next time, or do you want to?
The air quality part?
Well, I think if you're gonna look into it in your growth policy,
Well, it's part of the growth policy.
So how about burning slash?
Hmm?
How about burning slash? We put up with smoke all summer, we get some clear air, and then they start burning slash. So does that mean we're against burning slash?
No.
Why?
I'm
Because
just gonna
that
step up.
affects the air quality, look, just as
When we burn,
much.
when we burn slash, we have to do it at a certain time.
Yeah, you're
We
supposed.
can't just go out and burn. It has to be a
Right.
certain time of year, and it has to, like, there's too much cloud cover where it holds it in, we can't do it, we have to make sure it escapes.
Yeah, it's
But
a
the
lot
Forest Service
different
isn't
than-
doing
It's a lot
What do you
different.
mean, aren't
Usually
they? They
it's
didn't-
where you could just go out
Missoula-
and burn.
But
Told us
still,
smoke
it
again
doesn't
last
affect air
week.
quality.
For a few days
I
ago.
know, they're doing it early then, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're not
because,
supposed to.
and then there was an article in the paper
Yeah.
about, hey, look it, they're fighting fires and they're burning controlled burns
Yeah,
at the same time.
yeah.
I mean, this is kind of ridiculous.
And it's just for a short period, you know, it's just like, what is
It's
it,
coming
November
up
up to November,
October. now.
October, November, and it's over and done with, you know.
So you're
'Cause you don't even
against,
get it all burned. I know,
No,
that's-
But-
I think you're both right, you're both.
but it does affect the air quality,
Oh, yeah.
the burning of the slash, I mean, we all know it. So if we're gonna be consistent, we need to be consistent. If we like clean air, we should be for clean air. It's pretty black and white.
But then what does the people do with the slash, the loggers do? with
Well, I
the
think what
slash?
Patty was saying, what you're supposed to do is burn the slash in the fall on windy days, and it carries away.
But it
disperses.
doesn't all work that way. Sometimes
They
those
don't
things,
do
you
it. Yeah,
can see the
exactly.
fires, we can see them from our house, you know,
Yeah,
up in the hills, you know, for days on end.
And my point was,
I don't
in
think
Idaho
I'll see
last
that
week,
again.
they were burning a controlled
Well, I
burn
think Stinson
and
or-
drifted over in the Missoula Valley. So people called in and said, hey, look at this, where's the smoke coming
Yeah.
from?
yeah, was that it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, you know,
yeah,
that's.
I think we got
Spanish,
some of it
isn't
too.
yeah,
It's like that.
Yeah, so they're not doing it when they're supposed to be doing it.
yeah.
I was just pointing out a little hypocrisy, that's all.
Well, I'd like to add to that. With one, with the slash pile, there's great wealth created, jobs created. Forest wire is costing us big bucks, no jobs, so.
Okay, if you talk about, okay, if we're gonna talk about hypocrisy, The wealth that's created by forest fires, the money that comes into this county is huge, and we all know it.
Where's that money coming
It comes from the federal government.
Your
Where's that?
taxes,
Right.
it's
Where's that
costing you big
It
money.
comes from the taxpayers.
from? We know it isn't.
It isn't?
It's coming from the deficit. The federal government doesn't have any money. They're borrowing over $1 trillion a year. And then they're borrowing money to fight the fires. And then the people say that the state can't handle the forest because they don't have the money. Well, the federal government doesn't have the money either.
Well, okay, let's not get into deficits if we're gonna talk about hypocrisy. Because there's a good reason that the deficit is gonna go up by more than $1 trillion, and that's huge hypocrisy. We're getting off the
And
subject.
well, I would like to add one more. When you go in and log, you're managing the forest. You're thinning it, getting the bug kill out, getting the dead trees out. People can camp in there, they can do many things. But you gotta get rid of the slash. Now, if we were Europe,
Well,
which I think is neat, they use all the biofuels. We don't
Right.
do that here, and that's a shame, you know. We haul a lot of our stuff down for Big Sky Shavings, you know. We keep maybe 5 mils with our slash, you know, in business run. But there's just some you gotta burn, you know, they just can't take it all. And you can't just leave it there, because it looks terrible and it's a fire hazard, you know, it'll go up anyway, you know, lightning strikes, you know. But these ranchers, we pay big bucks, it's a lot of money. They make good money. The Forest Service makes good money for nothing.
I'm saying there's more than one way to make money off forests. And when people complain about the fires, you do have to recognize that it makes a lot of money for people. You guys, lots of
But
people
most
make
of
money
us-
And
off of
also,
fires.
it makes money from the people we buy tires from.
Right.
Logging trucks, equipment, diesel,
People
gasoline.
make lunches,
Oh, man,
people-
they make a mint off
Right,
us. They
so
do.
let's
And that's
just
not
be,
brought in.
let's just be clear on that.
But
If
people
you
take
would take,
advantage.
if you would take logging dollars out of Montana, you'd be surprised.
You're talking fires, you're talking logging. Okay, the
Right.
fires. So a few people are gonna make a lot of money on the fires, and that's exactly the way they want it, and that's why they're doing what they're doing.
And I'm not in
Okay.
favor of forest fires, by the way, I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of.
And the rest of us, what do the rest of us get up?
Bad.
Sick. And we get sick, because we breathe the smoke, because we have to be out there doing whatever we're doing, and
Right.
breathing that smoke.
So you're against all pollution?
Excuse me, I've been having my hand up over here, you know. I think this is a good discussion, I don't think it should be narrow. I think what we should really concentrate is on the growth policy.
This should have been on your quality.
And
Yeah,
then
right.
we should have discussed the growth policy, and like we said, maybe air quality could be in that, so I think we get the growth policy, we discuss that, and maybe that should be the main item on the next agenda. And then we can go into what we want changed and what we want in it, and then we can have a discussion about.
So you want the growth policy, and
I think before we can talk about NEPA and NEPA air quality, we should talk about, you know, because look at the conversations that you're getting into right now.
I don't know, I thought they were good.
I know, I have fun, this is fun for me.
Maybe this is a good deal to bring in a biofuels business, you know, because there's a lot of slush.
Right, well,
Europe
what
is
this,
big on it.
and look what the
you know.
schools are, what the
They
Granite High
burn.
School is
They
doing,
do
that's
all-
wonderful.
Yeah.
you know, I saw some clear cuts of plants, and they had a slash.
They save everything, don't they?
I'm not kidding.
Europe just cries when they see us burning all our slash piles up and burning. the
But
forests.
they've been getting every little twig off those forests for hundreds of years. Before Columbus even came to America, they were gathering up every little
Oh, man.
branch and everything to burn, so it's a different world.
Oh, you want to keep that on next time?
I thought it was pretty good conversation.
Well, like Elena said, when you do the growth policy.
Yeah, but it opened it up, at least now we're all thinking about it, and it gives you more opportunity, and then it's brought out, now we know.
And
I
I
think
would
it's
like
good
to
on both
say,
sides.
too, a lot of loggers disobey that law. They'll go out and burn when they're not supposed to.
Why
Yeah.
you
We
pointing at
don't.
me?
Oh, I'm.
Not to mention their names,
Yeah.
but
A lot
yeah.
of them do, and they're not supposed
No,
to,
you
and
get
it hangs in the valley,
Yeah.
you know, we try to go by the law always.
Yeah, I believe you guys
Yeah.
do actually. Maybe not. No, I believe it, I believe it.
You don't have to.
Okay, mission statement.
Didn't we already agree on one, a while back, on the Valley County?
We
one?
did, and I
Kinda
just
like
checked,
that.
I just checked the minutes, when I saw this, and yes, it's in the minutes that we had agreed.
Kind of agree.
Bill suggested we use the Valley County mission statement, this was agreed by the committee.
No, that's fine.
We all do that, or you guys do that.
Yeah.
You can take that off and see this. New business.
I would, you know, we can go up to that place anytime, you know, it's cooled off. Scotty got the road graded for us, I mean, it was so terrible, that road. So I will be calling you, I'll set it up with the landowner. Do you wanna do it like in a couple weeks maybe, or how should we do that? You wanna wait till it's one of our meetings, or we shouldn't do it on one of our meetings? I'll check with the landowner, and I'll call everybody and see if everyone.
Yeah, I'll look at my calendar and I'll just email you, okay?
All right. All right. Yeah, and the landowner said it's fine. And I want to get us to this one place where we haven't even touched it. It looks really bad. It's close to the creek. And then Kevin, my son, will take us there.
So we don't want anybody else.
Scotty said he had 2 people, but this is close to just our group, you know, and then whoever you want to bring. He said he had a couple people.
Oh, they were asking that.
Oh.
But,
If we just want to go out with us, then that's fine too, then that way we kind of, you know, what you can do. That would be right now.
I don't know,
Everybody okay with that?
I always like to open everything, including Terry White's thing, which I always like to open everything to everybody.
Well, this
You
is
know,
the ranchers.
Right.
She doesn't want the whole public. out.
Right,
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what
you'd
I'm
only get
saying.
a couple of people extra,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can see that.
What's the
Ask
point
him.
of this again?
To
Just
show what
visit.
logging can do, how it's changed, and how it makes a better environment for elk. In fact, this ranch here is the old Ann Sanders Ranch.
Uh-huh.
They don't graze it, it's for wildlife, elk and all that. It's a wildlife habitat.
Maybe ask them, and what they think, just kind of figure out how many people and ask them if they don't want to, how many mention.
No, you can mention it. I just don't want 50 cars up there, so I doubt that
That's
many
a
would come.
bad thing, if you start to one and then goes well, and next thing you know,
Yeah.
it's students.
Well, maybe next year, you know, we could do another one and open it up.
We could go up on Forest Service.
Right, see?
And see, that can be opened up to the public.
Right,
and
that would be
communities
good.
want to.
Sure.
They burned up all the good cities.
Yeah, that's what we want to show, so. Yeah. Oh, I know, it's so sad. We took a ride up where the fire was last year. It's just so sad. And you know, years ago, wildlife could escape from these dangerous fires. But now you'll see with all the timber blocked, wildlife gets trapped in there, the fire comes up, they don't have a chance, you know, like elk and deer and bear. They die, you know. But years ago, they could get out because it wasn't so bad.
You know, they said,
There's no escape routes now.
they said on the news, the experts, Forest Service experts, they said, yeah, we're cleaning out all the beautiful trees, but letting these fires burn. They said, and all it does is blacken them
Yeah.
and make them fall down.
Yeah.
You know, you're not cleaning out anything. Well, once in a while, you know, if it really rips up the canyon, so it'll burn up everything.
You know, one thing on our property, we're gonna go through and really make it fire safe, like on our fir trees, you know, take all the limbs off. So if a grass fire goes through, it'll clean up the bottom, it won't tower and crown and kill your tree.
So more like
Yeah.
200 years ago, that kind of.
Yeah, and see, we could be doing it, we could be thinning the forest, you know, and, you know, it can be done really nice and make great elk habitat.
So why don't they thin around Phillipsburg? This looks like a great place to show how good logging is. You could go after these hills and really get after it.
This
I
is
did
Forest
not
Service
have
probably,
to go to
has to be
mine.
sold.
It's all Forest Service, Steve,
No,
right
our
back there.
light, I did our
Our
light
light.
back there,
Yeah.
it's all.
So that might be approach whoever owns that ground. see if they can make that up.
You know, there's way too much timber in
Right.
Granite County. Have you seen how the trees are encroaching on the grasslands? Just look at the edges of your forest as you're driving out to Rock Creek. All this forest is moving in on the grasslands. There will be no grass for your cows eventually. It's just, you know, it never used to be like that. My uncle's ranch on Rock Creek, there was absolutely no forest in the back mountain there. There was nothing. It was prairie, you know, buffalo, elk, you know, deer, cows. But now it's all trees.
But we took fire out of the landscape and. you're
That's what
for-
happened.
Right, and that's what happened. And now logging is trying to replace fire's traditional role and,
It used to do it pretty well.
oh, I think so too.
Yeah. And logging's different nowadays. That's what I want to show.
That goes down to Forest Service management, which is poor. Bottom
Well,
line,
you
that's
don't-
the problem. It's the Forest Service, not the private loggers and stuff like that. It's the Forest Service. And I've been trying to put up articles on the Facebook page all over the country. They're really fed up with the Forest Service.
Well, you
And
don't have
that's
a
the whole
ranger that
thing.
has a 4 or 5 year degree in forestry. They're a biologist.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm just basically saying.
Yeah, they know nothing about forest management.
The way I see it, the Forest Service is controlled by a committee in Washington DC. So let's say it's 20, and they're telling, and all the rest of the Forest Service does what they say. That's the way it's worked out. I mean, and they don't care about the laws, they don't care about anything, they just say we're gonna work.
They know nothing. Yeah, and the wealth that is lost is just, you know, we keep paying our deficit off.
And one other thing, you know, since Willis is kind of going with Ravalli County collaboration, something is going on with that.
Good or
An
bad?
update, you know that Ravalli County sent a letter to the Attorney General to investigate the dark money. They didn't get an answer back, so now they got in touch with Governor Bullock, and they waited for an answer. But if you go to their page, and it goes to the Montana
Forest Collaboration Network.
Right. They don't have any minutes or any agenda since June. On the June minutes, it says the next meeting was going to be July 9th, I believe, and it hasn't happened. So something's happening.
What's the dark money you're talking about today?
That page that was handed out.
Oh,
International.
different-
yeah, okay,
Groups.
I have that, yeah.
Okay, and so, maybe the commissioners would like to get in touch with Ravalli County commissioners and find out what's going on, because I contacted Jeff Burrows, and he hasn't gotten back to me.
I can ask Tim Love about that too. So their minutes aren't even up on the,
There's no agenda.
okay.
The last thing they had was June 2018, and where it said in the minutes that they were gonna meet July 9th, the next meeting. And nothing for July, nothing for August, and nothing for September. So I don't know what's going on with that.
When I got this, I talked to a woman and I think she's their administrative assistant. I can talk to her too.
Because I'd like to know what's happening.
This is the Valley County Collaboration Group.
All right, the collaborative, this is where all this stuff is coming from. The minutes,
Thinking they're quit.
the Valley County Collaboration.
Maybe the summer's on, so busy. I don't know.
So anyway, that's just one thing.
Can we, real quick, go through the next agenda?
So were we gonna talk,
Before Marty has to-
could we talk about the secretary? Were we gonna revisit that?
Okay, she's got to leave.
Okay.
Could we just go
Sure.
through and see, so we'll discuss the secretary, but they'll stay on their position. They'll stay on the next one. And the growth policy, they'll stay on the next one. Commissioner's resolution, they'll stay on there for next time. The discussion of commissioners on the budget. Yeah,
Didn't they,
yeah, that'll have to go.
didn't they say, Elena, I'm just trying to think, didn't we say though if there was a copying or something that we'd reimburse for all that in the meeting?
I'm sorry, what?
Like, just for that secretary stuff, like if you need to get stuff like copies and that, and if there was happened to be a reimbursement that we'd be paid back for that. I thought for sure we said that.
I still think we should have a budget.
Well, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, and that's, you know,
Okay, then we're not gonna have Wayne's coordination memo off next time.
and are you gonna meet before then? Are you gonna meet with the commissioners to
Yeah.
have a discussion and then have an update on next month?
I'll get better on it, and then the budgets and that, I'll get that. So,
We'll discuss Valley County bylaws, that'll be on next time again. I guess we'll need to meet on. Mission statement is off. We did this, then we'll have public comment.
I think so.
And next meeting agenda items. Okay? So, oh, and now we're gonna talk about the secretary position.
Well, Scott had said, I don't know if anyone heard, but maybe have a recording secretary and correspondence secretary, and I've heard of that also.
So two,
Yeah.
we can't even give one.
I know. Well, it eased the burden, you know, like Elena could, if she's interested, could be the correspondence secretary, and she's on the board, and then Heidi could be recording. It doesn't really seem fair to ask Heidi to do this strictly as volunteer, though.
But we can't pay, right?
Can't pay, so.
I still think we need a presence on the Granite County website. I really do, so that we can put all this,
I
otherwise,
think
What-
we're
what-
what are we
agreeing on
waiting
that.
for?
Yeah,
Is Margie gonna check into
Yeah,
that?
she's gonna check.
Right, so that's what we're gonna have to do, based on that.
Well, what about her suggestion for two
Two
secretaries?
You be the correspondence one, recording.
That'd be good. You've kind of been our secretary, probably bringing all this stuff in.
Well, it basically would be
There's a
continuing things as they are now.
Mhm.
If there's space on the website, once Margie finds out whether there is or not, and you continue to post things for the committee on the website, you're the corresponding secretary. If Heidi doesn't mind filling the role of taking these minutes, I mean, it's a shame that she can't get paid for it, but you need
It would look good, wouldn't it?
You need a secretary to take minutes. I mean, if you need defined roles, there you go. You have your defined roles.
Would I then post the minutes on that website then too, or send them to somebody?
Or you could send them to
Sarah or Kim, whoever has
Yeah.
access.
Elena, and Elena could post them on the website.
I can't do that. So she finds out.
Yeah.
Right,
But, you know,
right.
what if she does find out?
Right now, I'm just putting it up on YouTube, that's it.
We'll go down with you, we'll push it
Oh,
on.
no, I'm a secretary and not,
At
that's
least
what
that
I'm
way we
doing.
have a step.
We still have our Facebook
We're doing
on.
it, and we can sit here and
You did.
tell me right now.
I've been commenting on that.
Well, good for you.
Yes.
Right, well, that's, thank you.
We were just finding out where.
I like it, I think it's good.
So we still do have Facebook? I thought they said, you said that they wanted to take it down, or you had it.
No, they took something off, what was it?
Yeah, they wanted the phone numbers off.
No
Because I
phone
said if for
numbers.
any information, call Granite County Commissioners, and I put the commissioners' numbers down. And for some reason, somebody, if you don't change this, or, if you don't, say anything, then we'll just automatically take it off. I said, fine, take it off. So, we don't even have a number to call.
Facebook and what?
Well, we go back to the boards of the county. I mean, you look at other places, they have all the members, and they have an email address, or they have a telephone number. For some reason, Granite County doesn't have that information on their boards. So if somebody wanted to call us, who do they call? So I put down the county commissioners' numbers if you need information. Well, somebody didn't like that. I don't know. I know, you don't know anything how to do that.
I'm gonna say, don't accuse me of that, because I didn't even know you did that, which is fine, my number's out everywhere, I don't care.
Yeah, but
That's
you
part of it.
know.
Are you
not
allowed to
many.
put an email address on there or contact?
Yeah, because this is public stuff.
Well, if you're a standing committee appointed by the county commissioners, you should be able to have a presence on the
Yeah.
county website.
That's
Well, sure you can, but that's why we need to, I mean, we can sit here and keep saying that until we go down and find out what we need to do. Go down and do it, and find out, see what we have to do to get on the website.
Okay, I motion that this meeting is adjourned.
I'll second it.
Thank you, write down what the next meeting is, what date.
Yeah, what day is that meeting? I don't know.
Oh,
yeah, so I'll tell you,
How's it related to talk, or how?
I don't think that they're related, but I don't know how their paths would have crossed. Dan's ex-wife Robin was really involved in Horse World, and so she probably knew
Motion, did
Todd.
someone second to adjourn?
Oh, wait.
Did he have that, or was it Rebecca Connor?
We gotta wait to find out.
Okay, that's the one.
October
Right.
10th is the
Okay,
second
so I think
Do his
that's-
horse
Wednesday.
right, so they probably, he probably used Dan's brand.
He did, that's what I was doing.
But then, I don't know, they lost it or they got.
2 o'clock, October 10th.
Okay,
My next meeting.
back to Phillipsburg.
Okay, we're adjourned.
The place we lived is.
The
Second,
second.
first, third,
Somebody
all
did.
gone.
Macduff, it's just, we, where Clearwater Properties is,
Ow.
and then it's, on that road, it's just, a couple of places, anyway.
He wasn't that old.
I'll go with you down to the